What is up, guys? So today we are getting back into Plan With Me's and just planning in general because it has been a while since I've actually planned. I kind of stopped planning for even quite a bit longer than I anticipated. And that's kind of bad because if you're like me, you need to plan because then it helps you just keep track of things better. For the last couple, I want to say probably a year, if not more, I've mostly just been doing to-do lists, which of course have gotten me nowhere because I tend to write to-do lists and then don't do anything about them because to-do lists are kind of boring looking. So today we are using the cafe kit from Glam Planner. Yes, I do have permission to use our kits digitally. um, so I have a lot of other coffee kits, but I have yet to use this kit. I have no idea why, but it is absolutely gorgeous and I figured it was about time I use it. So I'm using this kit because this week we are going to need a lot of extra caffeine to get things done. I've noticed that I tend to have a really bad habit of having or not a habit, but like I've fallen into a cycle where there's like one day a week where I'm like really productive, really trying to get stuff done. And then the rest of the week, it's like I basically blink and it's Sunday night again, which is really bad. I know like technically because like I mostly do my business and content creation, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal because I can always just batch work. However, it doesn't really work for the rest of my life. So we're trying to actually start getting things done again. So this week we are mostly just focusing on trying to figure out what is the best way to be productive without feeling like I'm overwhelming myself or overloading myself. Which, however, if you actually, when you I get to the pen part, it might look like I overloaded myself a little bit with plans, but that is okay. So this week we are getting back into reading. If you watched my monthly plan with me, I mentioned that I'm trying to read all of the Harry Potter books this month. Of course, I have only read the first one, which is really bad because it's 8 days in, and the first three books are not really that long. But hey, we are a slow process. I haven't, to be honest, I have not watched, or not watched, I have not read the full Harry Potter series in a very long time. Like I've reread the first three books a couple times, but I haven't fully read the full series in a very long time. I honestly, I don't think I've read Deathly Hollow. I don't think I've read Deathly Hollows since high school, which was a decade ago at this point. God, that's scary. Um, yeah, so it's been quite a while since I've read them, but as we all know, the movies and the books are very different. And in order to enjoy both, you pretty much have to look at them as two separate pieces of work with the same plot, I guess. And then, and I watched the movies about 6 times a year. And as we all know, the movies leave a lot out. So I decided to reread all of them and relive all of that magic. Um, so we are doing that. And then this month, I'm also going to try to read the entire Percy Jackson series because so they re-released the books in new covers, which the covers were absolutely gorgeous. I bought all five of them. However, I've never actually read the full series. I read the first book. I don't know if I read it like when it first came out or just like when I discovered it, but I read the first book. And then I read the second book. I wasn't really thrilled with it, and then at one point I owned the third book, but I don't think I ever actually read it. And then I, to be honest, when the fourth and fifth book came around, I just had zero interest. I was reading other stuff, and then I just stopped reading. I stopped reading for a very long time, which is pretty bad. But now, I don't know why, but for some reason, when the new covers came out, I was just inspired to read them again, or read the series finally. Of course, I'm not touching the new covers like at all. Like those are absolutely gorgeous. I'm treating those as like special edition covers, so they basically just go on the shelf and never get touched, and they're there to look pretty. But they do have the entire series on Kindle Unlimited, which I got all 5 of them on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm going to attempt to read them all this month. Another series that I'm trying to finish is Babysitter Coven. I read the first book about a month ago, and I didn't realize until I was actually almost done with the book that it was a series. Because as if you follow like Book Talk or BookTube, when Babysitter Coven first came out, it was like a big deal. Like everyone was fawning over that book. But I never heard anything about the sequel or the sequels. So I didn't realize there was a sequel. But there are. There are 2 of them. So I'm going to try to finish the other 2 books as well. And when I get to actually putting down my books, you'll realize that I may have over exaggerated what I can actually read. I have a really bad habit of thinking I can read 400-page books in a day, which, I mean, if I have nothing else going on, I can. But, that's not always the case. And for some reason, I'm having issues getting into audiobooks. So I am not I'm not like reading while I'm working. So the idea of finishing multiple books in a day is probably not going to happen. But hey, who loves a challenge? This week, I'm also trying to restart my fitness. I have PCOS, which, if any you know anything about PCOS, one of the downfalls. What am I talking about? One of the, I guess, side effects of it is that it's difficult to lose weight, and however, my body right now is actually letting me lose weight. I don't know if it's the heat wave because it's August in Massachusetts, which basically means we are living in hell, or what. But my body is actually losing weight at the moment, so I'm going to try to start working out and try to fully kickstart that and hope that it sticks. So yeah. On top of that, we are trying to I'm going to try to restart my Twitch channel. So I really enjoy playing video games. It's one of those things where it's like I always wanted to, but for various reasons I just never really did. Like I played like Super Mario and Animal Crossing, but I never really got into like some of the games I wanted to. Like I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts and God of War. And I played World of Warcraft for a little while, but yeah. And then I also wanted to play what's the other one I wanted to play? The Assassin's Creed series and quite a few others. But, growing up with 2 brothers, there wasn't exactly a lot of time to play the consoles. And then as I got older, I just kind of didn't really focus on trying to play video games. And then now I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to do this. And of course, because as you can probably tell, I have no friends and no life. So I'm going to try streaming on Switch to maybe try to find people to play with. This week, I'm going to try to stream Fantasian, which is a mobile RPG. It's one of the ones that came out with the Apple like games or gamepad arcade. That's what it's called, Apple Arcade. But it's actually, I played it a little while last time I had my Twitch channel, and quite a few people were like, that doesn't even look like a mobile game. Like it looks like it should be a Twitch game. And then I'm also going to try to get into Diablo. Again, I played that for a little while the last time I was focusing on my Twitch channel, and I actually really enjoyed the game. It kind of made me realize where I kept screwing up with World of Warcraft and why I just didn't end up doing all that great with World of Warcraft, because I wasn't actually focusing on all the side quests that I should have, and it just didn't work. But yeah, so then on top of that, I'm going to try to do another set of new releases this week, as well as look into some beading shops, because I am considering reopening my boutique. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that though, because I have a very bad, when I run my boutique, like I want to stick with the jewelry, because I enjoy making jewelry, I enjoy wearing jewelry, I enjoy selling jewelry. However, I tend to get into a very bad habit of going down the rabbit hole and being like, oh, well, I should add in clothes and I should do this and I should do that. And the reality is, I've discovered if obviously, like, if I want to have my own jewelry line, I can't really be going down that rabbit hole because then that just causes too many issues. But we are sorry. We are going to maybe see what happens. I might order a couple pieces and just again see what happens. I don't really know. I have a lot of stuff going on in my head because I'm trying to just build my business, focus on that and content creation because I've just discovered I do not work well. I do not work for other people very well. Like, I'm good doing the freelance work. I'm good kind of just working for myself, more or less. But yeah, so that's kind of what this week is. It's basically figure out what keeps me productive and just getting back to somewhat of a normal because back in June, I basically, like, right before my birthday, I basically checked out, and then it was basically like I blinked and it was the end of July, which is pretty bad. So now we're basically just playing catch up. So yeah, so that is my week. I'm going to start doing Plan With Me's every week again. I already have my monthly up, obviously, and then we shall have, or no, I have my August setup. I'm finishing up the monthly, and then I will have more videos up for the new releases soon. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this kind of rambling Plan With Me, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.